What's up, family? It's the manhood mentor, Jabar Lance Brown, the 6-foot giant reporting for duty. Hello. And today's lesson, time is a commodity. Yeah, time is a commodity, right? Time is something that should be used in a way as if to eventually create an advantage for yourself and to establish more value for yourself, for your family, and within your world. And far too often, too many of our people take time for granted and misuse time unwisely, right? So this is the reason why I wanted to do a lesson on this particular topic and touch on the importance of you having time and you using time correctly, right? And in fact, the most important commodity that you have, aside from air, aside from water, aside from your health, right? Because all of those things are extremely important, right? But the most important commodity that you have right now in your life is time, right? And let me remind you that time itself is no friend to any of us, right? Because Father Time is undefeated and we all going somewhere at some point or another. So no matter how much money you have right now or how well you've been able to do for yourself, it doesn't matter how notable you are or what plans you have for yourself, right? There's no way for you to know how much time you have left to commoditize, okay? Let me tell you this. It is not true that time will be favorable to you because you're young. It is not true that time will be favorable to you because you're inexperienced. And it is not true that you'll always have time to get things right within your life after you've made a mistake, right? Sometimes time runs out. And we've seen that on countless occasions within the lives of other people who ain't here no more. Hello. You see, do not commit this error in thinking that time cares about any of us that much, because it don't. Time really don't care about the person in particular. It cares about what you do with it. So the question is this, right? How much time do we really have to commoditize the time that we have? I'm going to say it again. How much time do we have to commoditize the time that we have? You see, because the word commodity means something of use, advantage, or value. Let me say that again. The word commodity, by definition, means something of use, advantage, or value. So, another question rephrased, right? The question really is this: how much time do we have to make use of the time that we have in a way that creates value for us and gives our family the advantage? Now, the word advantage, the family knows how I feel about that word, because this is part of my motivating factor for some of these lessons, is to always create a vantage point for the men, for the brothers, right? And I can offer you an answer to that previous question, right? The answer is this: time is an uncertainty, and although we all have 24 hours in a day to work with, none of us knows how many days we actually have to work with. Yeah. We don't know that. So it's critically important for you to take advantage of the time you have in the days that you have in your possession right now, which is really only today, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? And we need to get going, right? You and I. We better get going working together. Yeah, me and you, right? We need to see the value in one another. The elder and the youngster, right? The student and the teacher both need one another to be successful in life. Let me explain, right? I'm preparing for a trip this week, okay? It's a business conference in a whole nother state. hosted by a wealthy older guy from our community, okay? I met this wealthy older gentleman at another business conference hosted by another wealthy younger guy from our community, right? Now, this wealthy younger guy is younger than both myself and the older guy, right? So that's actually 3 different generations, 3 levels of wealth spanning across 3 different decades of experience. You see how that works? Right? 3 different levels of time, okay? And all 3 of us men have something to offer one another because of how we've used our time prior to us being introduced. Huh? You see how this time thing works, right? In order for the knowledge to live on, it must be passed on. In order for the game to live on, the game itself has to continue on, right? And the way that the game lives on is for the knowledge of the game to be passed on, the knowledge of life, the knowledge of survival, the knowledge of execution, the knowledge of manhood. You understand? Has to be passed on into a younger, faster, more capable human body. Why? Because genetically, excluding any tragedies occurring, any genetic deficiency or self-destructive behavior, right? The younger man has less wear and tear and more expected time to work with, right? And we see the expectation of this in corporate America or in the work world, where you will have an older guy work majority of his life at that company or that establishment, and then they oust him, they remove him for a younger guy who they expect to get more time from, right? And in this case, you are that younger man who, being imparted with the wisdom, is expected to live on and carry the game on, right? As a whole, our evolution as a human race depends on you acting in your manly nature and using your time to build instead of BSing, right? Knowledge and wisdom are no respecter of age, only a respecter of attention. Huh? Hello. And this is to say that as a man, you must know that knowledge and wisdom go with the man who gives the most attention. And as they say in the book of Proverbs, right? The book of Proverbs has a wealth of wisdom and knowledge in there, right? A ton of knowledge and wisdom in the book of Proverbs, right? And we're going to touch on chapter 4, verses 7 through 8, okay? It is quoted, "Wisdom is supreme. Get wisdom. Yes, though it costs all your possessions, get understanding. Esteem her, and she will exalt you. She will bring you to honor when you embrace her." Right? End of quote. Now, the family already knows that my mission is to instruct men through life in a manner that establishes leadership and empowerment within the men, right? We also promote a mentality within the men that understands how to create a vantage point in every circumstance for those men who follow the instructions. Yeah, we winners over here. And the mentality that's being cultivated is the mentality of a winner, right? And a winner understands how to commoditize his time, how to turn his time into an advantage or something of value. You see where we're going at with this? You see where we're going at with this? We're going to the top if you execute, right? And in doing so, we expect to cultivate a new class of leaders in our community. Huh? Hello. In order to get you where you want to go in your life, then you'll have to be wise in how you're using your time. By becoming more of a man over your time. You see, being a man ain't just about, spending money and having women and driving cars and, you dig, having a certain reputation. Listen, bruh, you got to be a man in every area of manhood, right? And you have to be a man over how you're using your time, by accepting dominion over your time, and exercising rulership over the disbursement of your time. That's how you display manhood. You see, it's a number of ways to exemplify rulership and dominion. And you have to utilize those tools over your time as well to be effective. As a man, you're expected to produce. And you can't produce anything without any commodities. And we now know that time itself is our biggest and most important commodity. Use it wisely.